Hello friends, in this video we are going to see Introduction to Dimensional and Model Analysis. So the most important thing in this chapter is the two words, that is model and prototype. One is your model and prototype. So this model and prototype definition and details we are going to discuss after some time. But before that, we need to understand this diagrams in the introductory page what is given here. First of all, we'll see a car which is called as prototype car. Prototype actually it is actual machine, or you can say real working machine of actual size. What are the parameters given here? LP. What is LP? LP is the length of the prototype. P suffix means prototype. Right? For the model we are using a small m, and for the prototype we are using a small p. VP. VP is the velocity of the prototype, and mu p is the dynamic viscosity of the prototype or which the prototype is facing, and rho p is the density for the prototype fluid interaction. So whatever the fluid is flowing over the prototype, what is the density of the fluid? So that is rho p prototype. So when you're going to design a model is a small scale replica of any actual structure or machine. A model is a small scale replica of any actual structure or machine. So most of the time models are, or you can say generally models are smaller in size than prototype, but sometimes model can also be bigger than prototype. But here as a car we can see here the model is smaller in size compared to prototype. So this is the model car, and LM is the length of the model, and VP is the velocity of the air which is flowing over the model car. Mu is the dynamic viscosity of the fluid which is coming or going over the car, and rho m is the density of the model of the air which is flowing over the car, or density of the air which is flowing over the car, which is a model. So that's why it is written as rho m. So Vm, mu m, and rho m. So all the parameters which we are uh, going to see over the prototype car is given by the suffix p, whereas for the model we are writing as m after the parameters like velocity or length. So this is just an example how to write the parameters for prototype and model, and we also got to know that for a car model is small in size. Correct. So this is just for our convenience. This is just for our convenience. Second one is your right circular cylinder. Correct. Right circular cylinder. Here you can see h is the height of the cylinder and d is the diameter of the cylinder. So this is model. Look at the small size prototype. So sorry, this is the prototype. Look at the small size model M. So h by 2, exactly 50% size is reduced. So if you are reducing the size, I mean height of the cylinder by 50%, then for a perfect model all the dimension must be reduced by the same scale ratio. So it is d by 2. So I can say yes, it is a model of the right circular cylinder. Next one is parallelepiped. In this case you can see A, B, C are the three sides of the parallelepiped. All the sides is reduced by again 50%, A by 2, C by 2, and B by 2. So then it is called a perfect model. This is a triangular prism. H is the height of the prism, A is one side of the base triangle, and B is the base of the triangular prism. So the same size is reduced by half, 50%. You can see A by 2. Height is reduced by 50%, H by 2, and width is also reduced by 50%, B by 2. It is also called a perfect model. Okay. Now we are going to see the next slide for the definition and detail about the model and prototype. So what is a model? A model is a small scale replica. A model is a small scale replica of any actual structure or machine. It is not necessary that the model should be smaller than prototype. That's what I told you. It is not always. Most of the time, the models are generally smaller in size, but not always. It is not necessary that models should be smaller than prototype, although in most cases it is. Correct? Very important line. In most of the case, it is correct that models are smaller in size, but not always. They may be larger than the prototype. They may be larger than the prototype. So it depends upon our requirement. For example, I want to tell you here why you are going for a small size model. Suppose the big prototype like the train, bus, plane, correct, big trucks, which cannot accommodate easily in the laboratory. So we feel, suppose I want to analyze the flow over the wings of aeroplane. So you know the size of the aeroplane, right? It's very big, and we have to also make such an arrangement so the flow will go over the wing surface. It's very difficult to make such a big laboratory and all the equipments. So for our convenience, we will make a small perfect model. We'll make all the size as per our requirement, all the parameters will solve, all the similarities will follow. So in order to make a perfect model, we are having some rules and regulations that we will follow. Geometric similarity, kinematic similarity, and dynamic similarity must be followed. After that, we are going to make a small size. So size is small means it is for our convenience that the in the lab it can be experimented easily. Correct. This is so all the big things we are making a small size so that it can fit easily in the laboratory space. Number one. If you go to the other side, that is, in some cases, models are bigger than the prototype. For example, if you go to the biotech department, there are many reptiles, insects, and other small species. And suppose you want to study over the functioning of the those species, so it is very difficult to analyze. So because the parts are very small, the biological parts are very small, so we have to make a big size. We have to make a big size. Suppose you want to analyze the flow over the wings of butterfly is very small, so we can make a very big size butterfly, a model. All the dimensions must be same, and then we can analyze the flow over the wings. So it is as per our convenience what is requirement. We'll see that whether it is fit for our laboratory space to do the experiment properly. So sometimes we are making a models bigger than the prototype. Sometimes we are making a model smaller than the prototype. But most of the case, models are small in size than prototype. Now, what is prototype? Look at this, a definition here. Uh, the actual structure or machine of real size. The actual structure or machine of real size is called prototype. So actual structure or machine means here it is a working machine. Right? The real or actual structure or machine which is working, like car, bus, train, aeroplanes, all these uh, ship, all these machines are working. Those all working machines of actual size, real size is called prototype. Now model analysis. The study of models of actual machine is called model analysis. So first of all, we are going to make the model of the actual real working machine, and then when we study over those models, that is called as analysis of the model or model analysis. Methods of dimensional analysis. If the number of variables involved in a physical phenomenon are known, look at this. If the number of variables, the number of variables involved in any physical phenomena are known, then the relation among the variables can be determined. Then the relation among the variables can be determined by the following two methods. One is your Rayleigh's method, and second one is Buckingham's Pi theorem. So here the two things are important, that is variable. If the number of variables involved in a physical phenomena are known, so if you know the number of variables involved in any physical phenomena, then there is a existing relationship. The relationship among those variables, what is the existing relationship among those variables, can be determined by the following two methods, that is your Rayleigh's method and Buckingham Pi theorem. So we are going to see these two methods in detail in the next slide. So this is Rayleigh's method. It is telling that if x is a variable, which depends on x1, x2, x3, then x is a function of x1, x2, x3. Very important line. Look at this. If x is a variable which depends on x1, x2, x3. So definitely we can write x is a function of x1, x2, x3. This can be written as x equal to, function can be replaced by a constant k into x1 into a alphabet a, which is a arbitrary power, x1 to the power, right? What is the power, like root or 1 by 2, 2 by 3, like this. So this is k x1a dot into x2b, x3c. That means abc is just nothing but the powers. So you can write x equal to your k into x1 into x2 into x3. In other than this, we are just writing abc. So abc are the powers, are the arbitrary powers. Then according to Rayleigh's theorem, abc are obtained by comparing the powers of fundamental dimensions on both sides. So how we can calculate the value of abc? We can calculate the value of abc by comparing the powers of fundamental dimensions. What are fundamental dimensions? MLT. Correct? Fundamental dimensions like MLT. Correct? ABC are obtained by comparing the powers of fundamental dimension on both sides. So here you have to equate. Thus the expression is obtained for dependent variable. So after that you will be getting the value of A, B and C, and then you can substitute to get the expression for the dependent variables. What is the limitation? What is the problem? This method becomes more laborious if the variables are more than the number of fundamental dimensions. Correct? So if the variables are more than the number of fundamental dimensions, so this method is very difficult, very lengthy if the variables are more than the number of fundamental dimensions. Correct? Number of variables like parameters, we can say pressure, temperature, volume, discharge. If the number of variables are more than the number of fundamental dimensions like M, L, T, then this method becomes very difficult. So in order to overcome this difficulty, we are having the Buckingham's pi theorem, and this is a very good method actually. So what is Buckingham's pi theorem? You can see here. Buckingham's pi theorem states that if there are n variables, independent and dependent, very important word. If there are n variables, independent and dependent, in a physical phenomenon, and if these variables contain m fundamental dimensions. How many fundamental dimensions? M fundamental dimensions, MLT. Then the variables are arranged into n minus m dimensionless term or group known as pi term. Once again, I want to repeat. Buckingham's pi theorem states that if there are n variables, correct? So variables is your n number of variables, which can be dependent or independent in a physical phenomena, and if these variables contain m fundamental dimensions. So m is your fundamental dimension, m number, fundamental dimension. Okay, m fundamental dimensions. Then the variables can be arranged into n minus m dimensionless term and known as pi term. Each pi term contains m plus 1 variables. Each pi term contains m plus 1 variables, out of which m are repeating variables. Correct? M are repeating variables. Each pi term contains, so n minus m, whatever number we are getting, that much pi term you will obtain. Okay, and in each pi term we are having m plus 1 repeating variables. M plus 1 variables only, you are getting m plus 1 variables, and m is your repeating variables. Okay, thank you.